Moving in a promising direction to fix the broken VA system. Our Veterans Affairs expert D.Wayne with the renewed effort to help our veterans. I'm Angela Ray. This is DC Breakdown. Let's get started.
Breaking through the rhetoric, breaking down the issues. From the nation's capital, this is DC Breakdown.
Before Congress hightailed it out of town, they made sure a bill was passed to help deal with the ongoing shameful situation concerning the Veterans Administration and our men and women in uniform. With a new leader at the helm of the VA and the president signing the bill into law, Americans are expecting life to get better for our vets when they return home. And no one has been at the table fighting harder for our vets than our own Veterans Affairs expert, D.Wayne, President and CEO of Student Veterans of America. Mr. Robinson was with the president as he signed the bill into law, and as always, we are delighted to have him join us on DC Breakdown. Good to have you with us again,
Thank
sir.
You.
Always
Thank you
good
for
to have
having
you.
me.
So $16.3 billion, that's what Congress has said yes to and the president has signed. That's the amount of money that's been given to the new, well, to overhaul the VA.
Yep. To make lots of changes, of course, to increase access. That was one of the more pressing issues. But then also, there's some IT infrastructure that needs to be put into place there.
When you say increase access, tell me what you're talking about specifically.
The biggest issue was not in the entire scandal was not delivery of services. So those that were able to access services, receive services. Actually, I think they received like a 95% rating on the care. But the issue was the backed up appointments, meaning the 1,700 waiting here, so thousands across the nation. So a big portion of that is to increase the accessibility for those to cut down that waiting time.
So then, what have we taken some of the burden off of the VA in handling certain medical concerns, and now you can go outside of the VA?
Yes, that's a portion of it also. So a big part is wait time, so, right? That's important, and then access to care in rural areas. And so, what vets will now be able to do is receive, at least as an option, access in their own community instead of having to travel and then wait for extended periods of time. So also it puts a priority on the type of appointment. So if it's a more pressing need, then that rises to the top more so than if it was dermatology.
Got you, which makes sense.
Yes.
And I know that there was also some money provided to bring in more nurses and doctors.
Yes, and that's a big portion of it. So it's an acute shortage, of course, not just at the VA. So whatever you see that's pressing across the country is also an issue at the VA. And so we're actually pushing for a program that will we're in talks with the VA that will get more vets into the nursing and medical corps.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
But that's not included in this bill. That's something that you're working toward.
Yes, that's correct.
Well done.
Well, actually, there is money for that type of program. So we want to. It wasn't specifically earmarked for that, but we believe we can come in under that program. So we're still developing it, and we're still in talks.
That's great. That's fantastic. That's our man. We also understand that the VA secretary has additional powers, and I guess this was ridiculous to me, to fire incompetent managers. Well, that should be easy to me. Why is it difficult to fire an incompetent manager at the VA?
Well, because of the GS system. So that's the way that you hire and fire. So there's a union there, and so it's very bureaucratic.
So this is the stereotype that we all have of working with the government, that it's highly bureaucratic, that you can do anything and they won't fire you. That's the stereotype of working for the government, and in this situation, it seems to apply, right?
Unfortunately, that is true. So another big portion of the issue was there were, I think last year, 3,000 individuals that were shown to have committed issues on the job. And of those 3,000, I think that number is correct, that there weren't many that was actually released. They were reassigned to other portions, other areas, other departments.
My goodness.
So it's basically cycling and recycling the same people, the same
the Peter principle.
offenders.
You
Yes.
promoted to your point of incompetence.
Yes.
Let's talk about your organization and what this new bill means for the Student Veterans of America. Because at the end of the day, I want to talk about your organization.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At Student Veterans of America, we do a lot of advocacy work on the 400,000 in our chapters, and we do the advocacy work on behalf of about 1.5 million student veterans and their dependents. And so what is very significant about this bill is that it not only gave student veterans and state tuition, in-state tuition rates, but it also gave dependents in-state tuition, tuition
great.
also.
So in the past, if a vet came back home, was he told, if you want to go to X school and it's not in the city where you're from or the state where you're from, that you have to pay out-of-state tuition?
Yes, I mean,
You're kidding me.
generally, if there were, we've been working on this for about 2 years. So there were 29 states that decided on their own to give vets in-state tuition. What was happening was a vet could leave home, join the military for 4 years, fight in Afghanistan and Iraq, and then return. Once they returned, they could be forced to pay out-of-state tuition.
Oh, that just breaks my heart. But it's been taken care of.
Yes.
So, because of you.
Yes. Well, us along with the number of partners, but that was what we were fighting for specifically.
Now, you have a bracelet that I have commented on because it's a pretty bracelet, and I looked at it and I asked you about it. And that bracelet has a story that actually has something to do with the VA bill.
Yes. So this is the bracelet of Christopher Horton. I met his wife Jane at the Bush Institute when I was speaking out there in Dallas, and so she was very articulate, and so she was telling me issues that was going on with families of the deceased in combat. So we met, and she told me about a bill or a portion of a bill that she was trying to get through, which would give tuition assistance, or the GI Bill, to families, to the spouses and kids of the deceased. And so no one would take it on. Oh. And it kept getting stripped out over the years.
Wow.
We decided to join that fight. It was easy to sign on to. And
so thanks to you, and that you were willing to take it on and to push it through, now spouses and the children of those who have lost their lives for this country, they get everything that they should get under the GI Bill, in addition to making sure they get in-state tuition.
And that's correct. And before, they got a lump sum payment, and then that was it.
Really?
Yes, I wasn't aware until the meeting. Everyone assumes that they're able to receive these benefits to go to college, and so it was we didn't, consider it very long. I knew this was something that we should fight for.
And she gave you the bracelet to remember her.
Yes.
That's because you wear it all the time, and I commented, and it's a great story, and it's a story about how you are championing the cause for our men and women, and that you're protecting them, and this is really great. And I do want to let our viewers know that I actually had a viewer email me, a former vet, and he documented such horrendous problems within the system, and I asked you for help. And we are very fortunate to have you as part of our DC Breakdown team, and I want to thank you in front of our viewers for helping this gentleman out. I just don't know how things got so messed up, but hopefully we're righting the ship.
Yes.
And really do thank you. So what's it like being up there with the president when he's signing a bill? Because I've seen the pictures. You may have seen the pictures. So what's it like?
Lots of waiting time.
Waiting for the
initially.
president.
Yes,
Waiting for Godot.
Yes, but very good reason to be waiting. Right?
Absolutely.
And he's very, very charming. He's very, statuesque. So.
You mean like you? And done. Let's end it on that note. The charming and statuesque D.Wayne Robinson, President and CEO of Student Veterans of America. Thank you so much for what you did. The $16.3 billion couldn't have gotten through without your help and assistance. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Always
you.
good to have you on the show.
Always good to be here.
Still ahead, how the economy is changing the dynamics of the American family. Stay with us.